Elon Musk has his eyes set on Texas. Now, obviously, he already does quite a bit there, but he wants to get more intimately involved in their politics. Not by like running for office, but by just taking over territory and effectively making himself the de facto mayor. We're talking here about Boca Chica Village in Texas. That's what it's known as right now. But if he gets his way, it could soon be known as Starbase. He wants to basically turn it into a SpaceX company town. And that's a reference to a thing that used to exist earlier on in American history of companies that effectively had unilateral control over certain territories, populations. They effectively were the government. They might be the economy in that case. And I think for a lot of people, it's a cautionary tale. It makes us think looking forward about cyberpunk dystopias and corporations being out of control. He sees that as a model, perhaps a template. And so this is what he's trying to set up. It's a far-flung settlement. It has some people who already lived there, but it's not wildly, like filled with people. Most of the people who live there are SpaceX employees and construction workers working on, future development there and infrastructure. It's the site of SpaceX's launch pad for the next generation of Starship rockets and home base for humanity's future colonization of Mars, which perhaps Politico is writing in that way because that's what Musk says. I hope they're not just doing what the media has done for decades, which is Musk says a thing, so you just repeat it as that's gonna happen. He's gonna colonize Mars. I feel like we've given him enough leeway in that area, but that's the way they wrote it. Now, there are about 200 residents, again, most of them SpaceX employees, and on Saturday, they're gonna decide whether the land surrounding the launch pad should become its own city called Starbase, Texas. This would give SpaceX increased autonomy, virtually its own government, and greater ability to build where and how it wants. He would have a lot of control over it, and bear in mind that the residents there, the SpaceX ones, seem to be just guzzling the Musk Kool-Aid because his face is like plastered all over. Like you can see the graffiti like that.
Oh my God.
That's not a good image. Does he think it's a good image? A road leading off the highway reads Mar-a-Lago. 100 yards away, bookending an old black Studebaker parked for sale in a dusty pullout. Murals of Musk's face and the Doge Shiba Inu plaster two 30-foot concrete towers, because that's a dumb meme that he thinks is funny and will laugh at every day for the rest of his life because there's something wrong with him. So they put it on a 30-foot thing. And there's Cybertrucks everywhere. Perhaps a measurable amount of all of the Cybertrucks that have been sold are in this area. But I want you to bear in mind before we discuss, there were people there already. And they don't necessarily want to be under King Elon Musk necessarily. And maybe it's not a good thing that corporations will start to take unilateral control over a place. And I know some people might say, well, I guess they're voting for it. Kind of. Do you think that this is free of pressure? It's his freaking employees. Effectively, I think some of them might want him to have the power, but others, what are they gonna do? Vote against it? I don't know. And they're saying that he could potentially effectively take taxes directly from the inhabitants. Is this a thing that we want to start to normalize? I don't know, Brett, what do you make of it?
I mean, it was normalized. Company towns are a thing. They used to be really a thing. But company towns are like things where they give you like script. They're like, we'll pay, we have the company town, we built this area over here, and there's like a grocery store that doesn't take money, it just takes coupons we give you. And it sounds awesome. It sounds like a flashback in a post-apocalyptic game. Yes. It sounds great, where it's like BioShock, oh, come over to the company town. But the thing that like the AP history test question answer to what's wrong with a company town is, it is extraordinarily difficult to organize a labor union. Because the company has so much control over every aspect of your life. And there is no diversification. So that a stiff wind blows like 5 rockets off course, and suddenly Elon has to shutter not just the factory, but the town. Mm-hmm. Now, we have non-company towns that basically where the company has less of a footprint than Elon seems to be planning with Brown Nose, Texas or whatever, or Boca Little Mouth, Texas, to turn it into Big Mouth, Texas, I guess. And like you've closed a factory in a non-company town and it's decimated for many, many years. That's what would happen to this company if Elon, who is only building this town because he just turned against, Vandenberg Air Force Base in Central California, and he wants to come to Texas. Another wind blows him out of town, and that entire area closes down.
Yeah. To me, it seems like if he sets this up, like what, Zuckerberg's not going to do this? I mean, he's already basically taken over Hawaiian Island. Jeff Bezos isn't going to do this. Others, like the idea of just having unilateral control. I don't, and of all of the CEOs to allow that, Musk. And by the way, he already has the massive record of shutting down unions and everything, and he's hardly in unique company there. But the weird obsessions with culture war stuff, like imagine the invasions of people's privacy, the lack of, you think he's gonna let people like organize protest in that town the way he's been handling Twitter? I don't know, the entire thing just seems like such a mess. And even before our hypothetical futures or whatever, the people who live there now say rent is increasing. They feel like it's being gentrified, it's being colonized by these outsiders. So that concern is already there. It's just that we might have an even darker, more dystopic future coming down our way.